recently heard someone say the greatest form of self-love is letting someone love you. And that kind of changed my perspective. I think I've needed these.
2022, the year that marked our 10-year anniversary. The anniversary of what you might call a challenging relationship? Yeah, challenging to say the least. I wrote this as the summer was about to come to a close. A summer where the fire between us rose to the surface in a way it hadn't quite done before, or at least not in years. Reflecting the unbearable heat that the sun was projecting onto us, it left me feeling vulnerable, tender, and burnt. But in order for this story to make sense, we have to go back to the place that was the catalyst for the understanding of this story. A story that I quietly and desperately hoped to be in the final chapter of its 10-year tale. Let me set the scene for you. Dripping salty sweat and burning humid heat with one book in hand. The Alchemist. Yes, the infamous Alchemist. Inspiring me to move slowly and curiously through the Central American mayhem, chasing what I knew was to come.
Last night I dreamt of San Pedro. Just like I'm never gone, I knew the song.
Very good. No, feel very good. Would love to be.
It all seems like yesterday, not far away.
Was this wishful thinking yet again, or was it actually time? Time to finally get a sweet taste of the feeling that everybody else on this goddamn planet seemed to be obsessed with. All that I really knew was that following the so-called omens was the only thing that really made sense. So I did. Because at this point Nicaragua is screaming my name.
The island breeze, all the nature wild and free. This is where I long to be. La Isla Bonita.
Because I met this girl Julia in a hostel before coming here, and she's offered me to go there with her, and
I don't know, the little island that she's going to. I really want to go. I think I need to go.
Until I finally landed where things felt right. I arrived and I knew I was there to stay. Welcome to La Isla de Ometepe in Nicaragua, a place where a pure feeling love had been found, but few, and certainly not me, would know that for a while.
Él dijo que te ama.
Excited though to see what will go down in the next month and a half. We'll see.
hello. It's like I'm like on the verge of tears with everything. I don't know why.
Autumn, a time of year where the shadows start to come out and play. The codependency, the manipulation, what feels like the lack of control feels heightened. Was it all in my mind? Was I creating this pain by simply expecting it? Or was he really there? Somehow, after 10 years, I still didn't know.
Fucking over it. I'm over it.
12 days on La Isla, and there we were meeting for the first time. I was there uncontrollably laughing at every word you uttered out loud, and you were probably wondering why the fuck that was. You were fun, exciting and new. I immediately wanted to be your friend, and quietly hoped you wanted to be mine too. But very shortly, after the few moments of grace, there I was, crumbling bit by bit. Magical places often seem to be the places where the deepest lessons crawl out of the darkness to say hello. Green, humid and lush tropical paradise to the eyes, dark, heavy and barren hell to the mind. Bittersweet is how I would best describe that time. Walls were being torn down recklessly by the minute and illusions were being lifted by the second. The most hectic internal process in my life to date. But there you were, my new friend, instantly creating a safe space for me to explore this darkness. You held me safely in my confusing process. I could share everything with you, my messiness, my ugliness, without even having to bat an eye and without feeling insecure.
Confused and hazy and I burnt my leg and thigh. I escaped a motor yesterday.
I'm in Pocoyo. hate feeling like this. It's just so real.
I'm so confused and a lot of brain fog a lot of the time. We sometimes triggered each other, but in helpful ways. As my opposite, you acted as a mirror, deepening once again the exploration of this dark world. It was natural, normal, comforting, and safe. Really safe. A wise man once said, "No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." I tasted a slither of hell, but with the purest of friendships, embracing me warmly and holding my hand ever so tightly throughout it all. Running away, my past decade's default mode. Hiding behind a mask, jumping on a plane, you get the idea. Why do we go to such great lengths to avoid feeling the uncomfortable? And in my case, why'd I avoided feeling the discomfort I had standing next to him? My 10-year-long secret abusive bully. Out of breath, continuously avoiding to feel you, even if I know that it would swiftly set me free and relieve me from you. Despite your ice-cold and spine-chilling existence, you're my comfort zone. How sad is that? I seem to be stuck in winter, stuck in my addiction to how dead and grey you make me feel. Approximately 2 months later, and I couldn't bear it any longer. My time there was up, and I was ready for something different, something new.
My hair represents my state of mind. Socially drained. It's like nothing left to give.
The confusion got too loud for me to even appreciate you. I gave in. I was on the run again, but it was good while it lasted. My last week there, though, felt honey sweet and playful. The much needed and well-deserved ending to a very heavy feeling chapter. But there we were, of course, on my very last night, lying on the broken road splashed in blood. A literal banger of an ending.
A scooter crash yesterday.
Some might say unfortunate, yet it somehow felt appropriate.
Healing wounds in the humidity is so... I'm gonna show it, but...
The physical manifestation of a 2-month-long turbulent roller coaster ride. My time there was definitely up, so much so that I was ready to swim off that muggy, sticky piece of land.
I'm leaving today. Shasha.
Saying my final goodbyes to everyone was bittersweet, but to you, heartbreaking. And for some weird reason, it left me feeling surprised. You see, I was so ready to leave, to forget everything, at least for a moment.
Je suis allée explorer dans la jungle, j'ai ramené plein de noix de coco.
But in those last minutes, sitting together on that stone wall waiting for the chicken bus to speed around the corner and abruptly whisk me away to Costa Rica, I realised that I really wasn't ready to leave you. You were my closest friend in an overwhelmingly emotional time. You were my comfort throughout it all, whether you knew it or not. But I know you did. Between us and since the very start, there was this unspoken warming feeling of home, simple and pure. Though my ego often doubted if the feeling was mutual. But on that wall, I knew it was. There I felt loved and seen. And so with tears running down our sticky and sweaty faces, it was time for one last embrace and one last friendly I love you.
I haven't grasped it yet. And then I'm gonna understand it when I see Shasha. She's gonna be kind of the realization that, oh, I'm not going back to Omidebe. Huh.
What's your favourite season? Mine is spring. A season where life returns to the earth, providing me with a sense of hope, you might say. Hope that life might leave a sun-kissed rosy glow on my skin. You see, we've now reached that point in the story where revelations start being made. Like, for instance, the 10-year-long creep. I never told you his name. Perioral dermatitis. This might also be the part of the story where you lose interest because this might all seem a little melodramatic. How dare I compare a red, scaly, flaky, itchy and burning rash around my eyes, nose and mouth to an abuser? What is wrong with me? A skin problem? Just go see a damn dermatologist and get over yourself. Trust trust me when I say that it's not that simple. If you've never struggled with a skin condition on your face, the part of your body you literally can never hide, never invalidate the feelings of those who have and don't even dare to play Prince Charming and think that you have the simple answer and cure to something that we've been struggling with for years. It might appear superficial and vain to the eye, but it's a lonely world of self-hate to the mind. The psychological damage a simple facial rash can have on someone can go frighteningly deep. How do I know this? My therapist's reaction. So let me try and explain it to you. Feeling like you're always on the run, fooling everyone with all of your orange paste masks. Living in constant fear that someone will one day bring your secret to light. Yes, a secret that small. But when that day comes, everyone will abandon you, ridicule you, and humiliate you, becoming obsessed with perfection because you know how far you are from it. You can't even forget its presence through a soft smile and cute laugh because it's pulling, hurting, and burning around your mouth. You never feel complete without wearing your pasty, sticky, and dirty masks. And you never feel free due to the wearing of these masks. You're an imposter, that's all you know. And you might tell me that my skin looks clear. Maybe it is. But I'm too busy indulging in the apprehension of the day that the clarity will abandon me once again, which I've now convinced myself is inevitable. I don't want to care. It's exhausting to care, but the world force-fed down that little girl's throat that she needed to care, that the look of her vessel was her one and only value. We all have a physical expression of our inner prison guard, the daily challenge that life continuously tests us with. Mine is a rash on my face. Funny, no? The first step towards healing is awareness, so they say. But I've been aware of this lesson for what feels like a lifetime, so I guess at this point I'm just begging for something or someone to help relieve me from some of the pain.
Get this music out my ear. I had this this aha moment in the first works day I was at in Costa Rica. The woman gave me a book because I told her about my skin issues for the past 7 years. I have periodic dermatitis and it comes and goes still. And she gave me this book, and usually I'm quite skeptical when it comes to, spiritual, emotional, what would be the word, kind of explanations for health issues. When I was reading this, it just made sense. Regardless if it's bullshit or not, it resonated, and that's what matters to me. Which is why, honestly, my goal for this trip is actually to let myself and allow myself to fall in love and to let someone love me. It might sound stupid, or it might sound like I'm, desperate for it or something, but no, it's not. It's just I think it's time that I allow myself to experience that, because I don't think I've been worthy of it. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to bed, it's really early.
And then you told me a secret. This deadly and empty pursuit of healing and perfection made me stupidly blind to what was right in front of me.
I'm breaking out pretty bad around my mouth, and it's making me feel quite insecure.
Stuck in my own underworld, unaware of the magic present in the now in the past. That feeling of home and the warm embrace was not just coming from a place of friendship, in your case. But how could somebody possibly love me when sharing so bluntly my messy and ugly? Opening up about your hidden little secret was a raging slap in my face to the discovery of what I was actually feeling this entire time.
I'm thinking about things so differently, and it's scary, but at the same time it kind of makes sense. I don't know.
Maybe it was all too late, but like I said, follow the omens. I never even planned on going to Ometepe those months ago. I didn't even know it existed. Yet there we were, meeting randomly after a series of random events. So I decided to pack up my bags, dripping salty sweat in burning humid heat once again, taking a risk.
Things change so fast. I'm going back to Ometepe.
I had already wasted too much time living in my head, feeling pathetically unworthy of love in the now.
I don't know, I needed a taste of real life again to understand how special the connections on the island were. So I was done with the island, but not with the people. I'll say that.
But let me tell you a secret. You end up being loved in the sweetest and purest of ways when you show your flaws, since it allows the other to be imperfect too. You told me that, and it changed everything for me. So there I was, on my way back to Nicaragua, and on my way back to you, slowly connecting the dots.
I'm so happy I came back. What the fuck? This is... yeah.
So yeah, This was the story of how I found love in Central America. How to love oneself through the love of another.
Makes me feel quite calm and reflective, quite philosophical. Life is cool being